this video, we are continuing inheritance concept, and as part of that, we will discuss about super keyword, how to use the super keyword in inheritance. Now let's get started. So in inheritance, super keyword can be used in three different ways: to invoke the parent class methods, to invoke parent class variables, to invoke parent class constructor. So these are the three different ways we can use super keyword: to invoke parent class methods, to invoke parent class variables, to invoke parent class constructor. Now let us see few examples for each one of them. So first one is to invoke the parent class methods. The first one is to invoke the parent class methods. Now let me open the PyCharm. So here I will create an example. Let's see. So here I will just create a class called A, right? So inside this class I will create a function or method called def m1. So this is a self, means this method is belongs to class A. So in this method I will just print a message. So here I'll just write this is method from A. Okay, and similarly I will also create one more class, class B, and this is extend from class A, and here I will create one more method called def m2, and this is also self, belongs to class B, and here I will write a message. So let's say print this is method from class B. This is method from class B. Now I have just created two classes, and A and B. B is extended from class A, so B is a child class and A is a parent class. Now let's create an object for class B. So let me just B is equal to and B. So B is a reference variable, small b is a reference variable, and B is an actual object. Now by using this B, right, using this B variable, I'm just calling the m2 method. So I'm calling the m2 method. Now here what happens is, when I run this, what is our expected behavior? It will normally call m2 method. It will call m2 method, right? So when I call this m2, it will normally call in the child class m2 method will be called. M2 method will be called. Fine. So for example, here in the m2 method, again I want to call the m1 method from class A. So m2 method is present in class B. But now inside this m2 method, I want to again call from the m1. So how to invoke the parent class method? So m1 is the parent class method, right? And m2 is the child class method. So I wanted to invoke the parent class method from the child class method. So simply what I can say here is, here we have to use a super keyword, super dot the method name. That's it. So if you want to invoke the parent class method from the child class, we have to use a super keyword. This is the first usage. So what we are doing is, we are calling parent class method using super keyword. Here we are calling parent class method using super keyword. Now let's run this code. So this is output. This is a method from B. So that means m2 method is called first. So when I call m2 method, what is the statement I have printed? This is a one. This is method from B. And after that I have invoked the parent class method. What is that? m1. So this is output for the m1 method. Suppose if you want to invoke the parent class method from the child class method, we have to use a super keyword. That's the first thing. So super keyword can be invoked the parent class method. Super keyword can be invoked the parent class methods. We'll see a few more examples. So in the same class, I will call the parent class variables also. We can also call parent class variables. So here I just call the parent class method, right? I can also call parent class variables. That's the second scenario. To invoke the parent class variables also, we can use super keyword. Now let us see how to invoke the parent class variables. Now let me just create one more example. Okay, so here I want to invoke the parent class variable now. So let me just create a class A, and inside this class I need few variables, right? So A comma B, and here I will just create A comma B. I will just say 10 comma 20. So A contains 10 and B contains 20 now. Okay, so this is a class A which contains variables. Now I haven't specified any method here. Okay, now come to the class B now. Class B, and this B is extended from A. Now this B contains again its own variables. Let me just say I comma j, I comma j. Here I'll just say 100 and 200, 100 and 200. Here semicolon is missing. Okay, so I have defined a class called A which contains two variables. I haven't defined any methods, but in class B I have defined few variables again, but this B is extended from A itself. And here class B is also having its own method. Let me write one more method here. Let's say def m. M is a method. Let's say self. So here what I can do is, and along with this self, along with this self I will also pass some variables to this method, some values to this method. Okay, so now we can see this. Along with the self I will also pass some variables. Let's say x and y. So very important example, please focus on this. Now here observe this. These a and b, small a and small b, are variables which are belongs to class A. Now here I and j are again variables which are belongs to class B. Now here x and y I have specified. These are local variables of method m. Local variables of method m. Let's say m1. So these are the local variables of method m1. Now here what I can do is I will just add x plus y. So what does that mean is, here x plus y is a local variable, so you can directly add x plus y, it will give the output. Perfectly right. So what is this? These are the local variables. These are the local variables. So whatever variable we specified within the method will be considered as a local variables, right? This x plus y is a local variable. Perfectly right. Now I want to add these class variables 100 and 200. So how to refer these class variables? How to refer these class variables? We have to use self keyword, right? So print self dot I plus self dot j. So if you want to refer the class variables, we have to use a self keyword. So what are they here? These are all child class variables. Child class variables. Observe this. B is a child class of A. Remember this. B is a child class of A. Now B is extended from A, so that B contains I and J along with this AB. AB also belongs to class B. Remember this. AB is also belongs to class B because B is acquired everything from class A itself. So self dot I, self dot J means here we are adding the variables which are coming from child class. Now I wanted to add the values variables which are coming from class A. How we can do that? Again we have to use a self keyword. Self dot A plus self dot B. Okay, so here these are the child class variables and these are called as a parent class variable. Parent class variables. Parent class variables. Now we need to understand the difference here. Whenever we extended this class into B, automatically these A, B becomes the variables of class B. So that just like I and J, how we have accessed by using self keyword, similarly we also access A and B by using a self keyword. So there is no difference here. Okay, so now let's run this. So here we have just created, right? Now we need to create an object. So which class we have to create an object? Class B. So let me just create small b is equal to uppercase B. This is the object. Now how to invoke this function? M1 method, how to call this? Reference variable dot M1. So here we need to pass two parameters, right? So I will pass something called 1 comma 2. Okay, now let's see what is the output we will get it here. So let me run this. So first 330. So what is this? Let us analyze. So b dot m1 I'm calling. That means 1 and 2 passing, immediately m1 method will be called. So here 1 and 2 will be assigned to the x and y. So x plus y 3. So it produces output as a 3. And then it come here. So what is I and j values? 100 plus 200. So it will produce here 300 is an output. And then here also we are able to access the class variables using self A and B. And here it is produced the 30 as an output. So 10 plus 20, 30. So this is how we need to access the local variables, child class variables, and parent class variables. In this scenario, everything is perfectly right. So for example, when I use same names for parent class variables child class variables and local variables. Then how we can access? So in this example I have shown you with the different names. So class variable, parent class variable names are different, child class variables names are different, and local method local variables names are also different. Here a, b, I, j and x, y. But instead of using different variables, if I use same variables, same variable names, how we can access them? Let's slightly modify them. So here a, b, right? So here also I will make it as a ab, and here also I will make it as a ab. Okay, now let's see how we can access here. I'll remove this. Let's see how we can access now. So here, if you want to access, here we have all the same name. Okay, here this ABs belongs to parent class, and this ABs belongs to child class, and this ABs belongs to method. Okay, method. Now along with this, I will also create two more variables as a global variables. We can also create global variables, right? So here I can say a comma b is equal to something. Let's say we have done 10, 20, 100, 200, 1, 2, right? And here we'll say some different number. I will just say 15, comma 20. Okay. So here these AB are global variables, and here these AB are parent class variables. This a comma b are child class variables, and here a comma b are the method local variables. Now here I want to add all the numbers, like global variables I should able to access, parent class variables, child class variables, along with this local variables. I want to do sum of all these variables one after another. So how we can access them? Now let us see one by one. So here in this method, first I want to add the local variable. So what is the local variable here? A, B considered as a local variables, right? So here I can just print A plus B, A plus B. So what this representing? This is a local variables. A plus B are the local variables. Now I want to access the child class variables. So here A, B belongs to class B, right? If I want to access these variables, how we can write now? We can write like this again. Print self dot A plus self dot B. Now observe this carefully. This is very important. So self dot A dot plus self dot B means self is representing the current class, right? So this A, B or belongs to child class variables. So this will add child class variables. These are all child class variables. These are all child class variables. Now I want to add parent class variables now. Parent class variables. So here child class variables and parent class variables exactly the same, right? But how we can add parent class variables? In the previous example, I have told you like this, right? So in the previous example, just you tell, I just ask you to use the same thing, A and B. Why? Because in the previous example, the variable names are different, so that we can still use self there. But here not like that. So here the variable names are exactly same in the child class as well as parent class. When I access self.a plus self.b, what happens? It will by default it will access child class variables, not the parent class variables. But how we can access the parent class variable now? Then how to invoke these parent class variables? So here we have to use the super keyword. So how we can access? How to access the parent class variables? By using super keyword. Super of dot a. So this will invoke the parent class variable. Remember this parent class variable plus super of b. So now this statement will immediately invoke the parent class variable. Parent class variable. So these are parent class variables. Parent class variables. Now, so we have access local variables, child class variables, and parent class variables. And finally, we should able to access global variables. How we can access the global variables? So if you want to access the global variables, we have to use a globals keyword. Globals, we already discussed this in the previous video. So if you are not clear, please watch them. So globals of, and here in the square bracket, we have to put the single quote, we have to give the variable name. So this will be accessing the global variable, and plus again one more time globals, and again bracket in the single quotations we specify the variable called b. Okay, so now this will access the global variables and perform the sum of these two variables. Sum of these two variables. Alright, so here this statement will access global variables. Global variables. So this is how we need to access variables in different levels. So M1, AB. So these are local variables we can directly access. Class variables we have to access by using self keyword. Suppose parent class is also having the same variable names. How we can differentiate? By using super keyword we can differentiate. So super dot variable name, super dot variable name. Here we can call like that. Suppose parent class is also having the different names, different variable names, then we can still use self keyword. No issues. But here the parent class and child class having the same names. So in that case we have to invoke the parent class variables. So we have to use a super keyword here. And then if you want to access the global variables, we have to use a global keyword. Global keyword of A, global of B. This is syntax we need to follow. Now, if you want to print them, we have to call M1 method, right? So I have created B object here and M1 method I have passing 1 comma 2 now. Let's run this code. And we are getting some error here. Let's see why we are getting some error. So line number 15, module C, line number 11, I think it is indentation errors we are getting here. No issues. So let me just class A. Here A comma B should be, and then class B, and A is extended from class B. Right, so this is A comma B, 100 and 200. This is also A comma B, and def M1 self A comma B, perfectly right. And here A comma B comment. So print function and self A plus self B, and then super dot A plus super of dot B, perfectly right. And globals function A within the quotations plus globals function within the quotations B, close the bracket. Now I created B obj equal to B, and sorry, we need to call this function, right? Which function? M1 method we got to call, M1 method we called, and also we have passed two variables. Let us see why it is giving an error. Okay, so here we have did some small mistake. So here we are already created object name as a B, right? So here we are able to access B like this. Object name reference variable is B, and also the global variables also A comma B created. So we have used same global variable name B as a reference variable. So that's the reason the statement is giving an error. So when I run this code, we are getting this error. So what we can do is we can just change the object name. Instead of B, I can say B obj, and now we can call B obj, and right. So now perfectly run this. So 3, 300, 30 and 25. So 25 is the sum of the global variables A plus B, 10 plus 15. So in this example, what we understood, we can access global variables, class variables, parent class variables and child class variables within the method. So if you want to access local variables, we can just specify directly variable names A plus B. If you want to access the class variables, we can just use self keyword. And if the parent class variable names are also exactly the same, if you want to invoke the parent class variables, we have to use super keyword. And if you want to access the global variables, we have to use the globals of A, globals of B. So this is one of the examples. So what we understood here is super keyword can be invoked parent class variables also. Super keyword can be invoked parent class variables also. Okay, so there's the second part. So we have seen two parts. Parent super keyword can be invoked parent class methods. Super keyword can invoke parent class variables. Now we'll see how to use super keyword to invoke parent class constructor. Now let's go to PyCharm. So here I will just create one more simple example. Let's create a class A, and here I will just create one constructor. So how to create a constructor? Def underscore underscore init, again underscore underscore self. So this constructor belongs to A. So in this constructor, I will just print some message. I'll just say this is a constructor from class A. This is a message I created. Now I create one more class. Let's say class B. class B, and inside the B I don't want to create any body. Let's say pass it. Okay, now I will create an object for B. So B is extend everything from class A. Now B is a child class, A is a parent class. Now whatever constructor is belongs to class A, which is also belongs to A, right? So now I will create an object for B. So let's say B obj is a reference variable, and I created an object for B. Now when the constructor will be executes, whenever we created an object, constructor will be executed, right? Automatically invokes. Now when I run this code, what happens? What happens here? Nothing is printed, right? So nothing is printed, but it should invoke the parent class constructor. Why it is not invoked? We have to check it here. So what is the problem here is the constructor name is init, right? So this is the name of the constructor. Now let's run this code. Now we will get the output constructor from A. So here we have just created constructor in the parent class, but the child class we don't have any constructor. But whenever we created an object for B class, immediately, even though it doesn't have any constructor, the parent class constructor will be invoked. Parent class constructor will be invoked if the child class doesn't have any constructor. This is a one scenario. Now I'll show you one more scenario. For example, in the B is also having one constructor. I'll add the same constructor in the B also. In the B also I will write the same constructor. And here I will write constructor from B. Constructor from a B class. Now when I run this, which constructor will be invoked? Now let us see. Run this. Which constructor is invoked by default? The first priority will go to child class constructor, right? If the child is having the constructor, immediately child class constructor is executed. It's not executed parent class constructor. But if your child class doesn't have any constructor, then it will go to parent class constructor and execute it, because B is extended from A itself, right? But if the child class is having the constructor, then first priority will goes to child class constructor. First priority goes to child class constructor. So that's the reason child class constructor is executed. But now from this child class constructor, I want to invoke the parent class constructor now. I want to invoke the parent class constructor from the child class constructor. Whenever I created an object, by default child class object is child class constructor is invoking, right? And immediately inside this child class constructor, I want to invoke the parent class constructor. I want to invoke the parent class constructor. Now let us see how we can invoke this. So here, after printing this message, immediately I want to invoke the parent class constructor. Again, we have to use super keyword. Super dot underscore init. This is the name of the constructor, right? And bracket. So this statement will invoke the immediate parent class constructor. Okay. Now let's run this code. So here we are getting an issue. Let's see why it is getting, because we have missed the underscores. So this is actual init function, right? init. Now let's run this. Okay. Now we can see here what happened. Whenever I create an object, immediately first child class constructor is invoked and message is printed for constructor from B. After that, what happened? It is immediately invoked the parent class constructor, and then it is printed constructor from A. Okay, this is one more scenario. So two things we have understood here. In the first case, if the parent class doesn't have any constructor, if the parent class is having constructor, if the child class is not having constructor, it will be invoked by default parent class constructor. Second case, if parent class is having constructor, okay, in the child class is also having constructor, it will give the first priority to the child class constructor. It will not execute the parent class constructor. Suppose if you still want to execute the parent class constructor from the child class constructor, we have to use a super keyword. So this super keyword will call the parent class constructor. We call the parent class constructor. This is the one example. Super keyword will be called parent class constructor. And there is one more way also. We can invoke the parent class constructor. Directly we can specify the class name dot underscore init underscore init underscore, and here we need to pass a self. We need to pass the self keyword here. Okay, something wrong here. I think it is a dot, not comma. Okay, A dot underscore init underscore self. So this is another approach to invoke the parent class constructor. So here what you are saying is A means parent class dot init is already there here, and this init is belongs to this A class, so we have to pass a self keyword here. Okay, this is an approach 2. Then the first approach, this is the first approach. In approach 1, we can directly use super keyword to invoke the parent class constructor. But in approach 2, we have to directly specify the class name along with the constructor, and we have to pass a self as a keyword. So this will also do the same thing. It will also call the parent class constructor. Now let me run this. I am just commenting the first method, first approach. Now let's run this. Now you can see it is also giving the same thing, right? Either we can go for first approach by using super keyword, we can invoke the parent class constructor, or we can use directly class name, constructor name, and passing the self keyword, it will invoke the parent class constructor. So these are the three things we have seen. So super keyword can be invoked parent class method, super keyword can be invoked parent class variables, and super keyword can be invoked parent class constructor. So these are the three important things we need to understand. Okay, so that's all for this video. Thank you all. Please watch, please subscribe my channel. We get more updates on this. Thank you.